Thank you, Don. We are back. Now, very often nowadays, if anybody has been in the entertainment business 5 years, they say, you know, here's a star. But I think a star is really determined by how long you've been around and where you are held in esteem by your peers. And Bette Davis is probably one of the most respected, admired actresses and indestructible of all of them. She's had 2 Oscars, 10 nominations, numerous awards. She recently received the Legion of Honor Medal and the César Award from France. Would you welcome, please, Miss Bette Davis.
I know maybe you thought I was standing too long, enjoying it too much, but I wish to stand up again. May I?
Oh, you sure may. You want to show that?
No, you want to show that. No, not for now. Are you saying to yourself, I'm a little overdressed?
I think it's beautiful.
Yes, well, I'll tell you why. This is the dress that Nolan Miller made for me for my trip to Paris for all the awards. It was announced in some of the gossip columns here in Hollywood that I had a red dress. One columnist knew it was made by Nolan. Thought he should have mentioned it. So I wanted to give Nolan, because I want to tell you that night in Paris, well, we're becoming the fashion capital of the world, let me tell you. And Nolan's dress rocked them in Paris. And it was particularly fun because they had a lot of clips from a documentary from England. And there was Jezebel in the red dress. And then when the film was over,
you walked out. It
just happened I had a red dress.
Just
so that
happened
was great
like
fun. So anyway, Nolan, thank you for my beautiful dress.
Well, it is
Thank
gorgeous.
You. I should say, I really,
only you could make
really
that so dramatic.
I really shouldn't say thank you, Nolan. It cost a hell of a lot
really?
of money.
Yo, this is something.
As it well should have. Nolan Miller. No.
It's not going to cost you anything after a while.
20 years ago, Nolan Miller, out of designing school, came to Hollywood, hired by Aaron Spelling.
Mm-hmm.
We were doing a pilot 20 years ago, Aaron and I, and it was very amazing that many years later that Nolan and Aaron and I were doing the hotel pilot. I was the first person he was to dress. And, of course, all those awful rumors about me, he was absolutely panicked. But he made the most beautiful clothes, so that was the beginning.
What awful rumors about you?
What?
What awful rumors about you?
Oh, my dear, that when I did Eve, Mr. Mankiewicz was telephoned by 10, 12, or 15 directors and said, my dear, you're insane. Just prepare yourself. She will walk on the set with a yellow pad and a pencil, and there won't be one line of yours left. He said, but there was one person who said differently, and I said, who was that? And he said, Willie Wyler said, you will have a ball directing her. The others, unfortunately, I had to do that with. There was no other way. Right. Now, there wasn't if I was to remain in films. Now, being the modest person I am, and we're talking about Paris and all.
Right. You bought me a gift.
No.
Oh.
No. I wanted to show you.
Was this the
this gorgeous
César?
Government medal that was given to me. I think it's just
Isn't
beautiful.
that lovely? Hold it up.
Now, aren't you going to ask why the French would decorate me?
Well, I can imagine they decorated for because they admire and respect your ability for an artist.
Oh, Johnny, you weren't my straight man at all.
Oh.
Well...
You know Jerry Lewis personally. That's why they decorated
I suppose by now you're wondering if you're going to get a chance. Wondering right now if you're going to get a chance to say anything. I will shut up in a minute.
Don't tell me you got your own show,
maybe
too.
Tonight. I thought maybe tonight I would kind of let you sort of see if you thought I could do it.
Yeah. Well, you can do it. All right.
Well,
Sure.
during the evening, you keep on thinking.
Okay.
Because I'm kind of auditioning for Joan's part. In case you had done what I hoped you would,
Yes.
to say, why would the French government
I'll play straight.
give you an
Why
award?
would the French government
Well,
give you an award?
in case you did ask me, I wrote down from the scroll that came with this.
All right.
And this is what I am. I am a commander.
Commander.
De l'ordre of the order.
Of the order.
Des arts.
The artist.
Oui. Oh, you speak French, marvelous. Des lettres. And it was presented to me by the Minister of Culture. I will not pretend it was not a very thrilling moment in my life to have another country give me an award.
I think that's very nice.
Now,
We're going to do this first? We're going to take a break. We're going to take a break.
You may have your show back.
We'll just take a break and we'll come right back. Hello, a cigarette? A cigarette, boo-boo?
Merci.
famous-
What kind is it?
I don't know. Famous scene from Now
Yeah.
Voyager,
Paul
right?
Henry
With Paul
told us that
Henry
himself.
lighting the two cigarettes.
That was an example of one of the directors that called up Mankiewicz. The one that directed Voyager, he never thought of the two cigarettes, I'd like to announce right now.
You
Or
can-
anything else, I might tell you.
Isn't therapy wonderful, though?
Just recently at a big... See, I have not shut up yet, have
That's
I?
all right.
So at this huge festival for me for 3 weeks in New York, he was one of the speakers. I wish to God I could have been in the audience to hear what he had to say.
Yeah.
No, I'm trying to get a report about it. I haven't succeeded yet.
It'll be coming
Right.
in. I'm going to
He
show...
came to see a play of mine. He came to see me and Miss Moffat in Philadelphia and came backstage, and I was so amazed and horrified. He said, well, I didn't let you know because you might have been too nervous with me in the audience. Oh, God.
Say, what was the... Did you actually say in picture, Peter, right?
No.
That was never said.
No. But I...
All the impressionists always used to do, you'd go,
Well-
Peter.
Well, that was started by Arthur Blake, who was the original great
That's right.
one. He's the one that did the arm, and I was horrified to realize later I did this elbow thing a lot. Yes, yeah, he showed me that, but he's the one that said Peter. His impersonation of Mrs. Eleanor Roosevelt knitting at a Girl Scout rally was absolutely the most sensational thing.
He was one of the great impressionists of all time. Arthur
From
Blake.
here it came,
Yeah.
not just all the outward thing.
Yeah.
Right.
What is this? I'm going to show an audience a picture. You can look at it on the monitor. And what do you remember? It says, this was a picture put out by, it says, Charming Bette Davis, Universal Featured Player. Did you hate to, then they...
What?
Yeah. Little publicity stills. Did you...
Why didn't somebody unearth that earlier? They could have done me great harm. My God, I didn't remember.
Did you hate taking pictures like that?
Well, I never did. That's why I'm really amazed at that. You sure that? Let me see that.
What do you mean?
You sure?
That's you. It says
Yeah,
charming.
I'm afraid you're right.
Yes.
Yeah. I did one set of bathing suit pictures with Joan Blondell once, and then once I rode on top of a balloon or something for some kind of thing, but I never did these.
You never did that.
No, and I was very, very glad they couldn't haul them out later.
Yeah?
But I'm terribly glad I didn't do nudes. Oh, God, imagine
Really?
those being hauled out later.
Would they have asked you in those days to do nudes?
No, they wouldn't have asked anybody, nor would they have gotten anybody.
Yeah.
No.
Nowadays it seems to be rather
oh,
common.
It's just, it's a must if a man and woman look at each other.
Yeah.
That same evening, yes, I just finished a film. I didn't realize that scene was in the film until I saw it the other night. Yes, same thing. Clothes come off delicately.
Yes.
Of course, you know exactly what they look like underneath. I don't know why they're so modest.
Yeah. So you don't think they should just do a nude scene just to do it?
Oh, of course, you know, you don't either. No, I think it's awful.
No, yeah.
I don't think it's very interesting to many people to be very serious.
Did you ever do a bubble bath scene? Didn't that ever come up?
No, I never was asked to get into a bathtub.
Yeah?
Interestingly enough, I am going to make a film not too long from now in Hamburg, Germany, and there is a scene in which I get into a bathtub.
Aha.
Not nude.
Oh, come on.
God forbid, at my age and hacked up as I am, I do not wish to be nude. But I read that and I thought, my God, this is the end.
Okay. Now, Peter never happened. Arthur Blake
No,
did
no,
that.
Peter
How
never.
about the line, what a dump?
Well, that is in Beyond the Forest.
Right.
And I make very, very little of it. I just say, what a dump. And Edward Albee, of course, he put that on the map, that line.
Right.
Right. And he gave me a great thing when I do my Bette Davis show all over the world, film and on the stage. That's how I start out every show.
You just walk out
And it's
and-
wonderful. Sit down and just look around and say, what a dump.
That's a good opening.
But you know, sometimes it was very embarrassing when the theater was. And you felt very badly when it was beautiful. But it was I tell you what was great about it. They knew from then on they could have fun with me.
Right.
And they didn't have to sort of respect this old legend.
Yeah.
They could really have fun. And we had fun.
But you were nominated, you got 2 Oscars, you were nominated for 10 others. Is there a picture that you thought maybe you should have won that you didn't?
Yes, 3.
Okay.
I lost out to Dark Victory because that was the great Gone with the Wind year.
Ah.
And I was gone with the wind. And I feel that I should have had the Oscar for Margot Channing.
Oh, yes.
Unfortunately, I was not under contract with Fox. Miss Baxter was. So, as the studios always used to do, they'd send notes around if it was their people and
Was
say,
Anne
please.
Baxter, Marilyn
please
Monroe,
vote at-
George
yes,
Sanders?
This is right.
Yeah.
So, I think I lost by some votes that I would not have lost by if Fox hadn't done that.
Yeah.
So I was so, but the last one, I was definitely robbed of. Miss Crawford went to New York and said to all the nominees on the stage who might not be able to get to Hollywood, I will accept your Oscar for you. And she paced New York to find people that not vote for me. Because I think I lost by a very few votes for Jane. That was really a shock.
Whatever happened to Baby Jane?
Yeah. But there she stood. There Joan stood with Miss Bancroft's Oscar clutched to her bosom. It had become hers. Yes, it had become hers. She also traveled with it for 1 year. No, 1 year with Pepsi-Cola. And she told Miss Bancroft that she would bathe this Oscar in all the waters of the world. So she got back to New York. Miss Bancroft is still doing Mother Courage. Gave a party on the stage of Mother Courage after a performance one night.
Right.
And gave the Oscar to Miss Bancroft. Finally, she got it.
She had it for a year. Well, you got a lot of good
Worth waiting for.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, yeah.
What picture did you make that you thought was a total disaster?
Total disaster. I loathed Beyond the Forest.
Really?
Yes, I was not young enough to play that girl. You felt that when I played that girl, I would have gotten to Chicago years ago. Absolutely, years ago. And the tragedy was that Joseph Cotton was the husband, and who in the world wants to leave Joseph Cotton?
Yeah.
In the book, it was a great book, interestingly enough.
Right.
And Eugene Pallette was perfect casting for this awful.
Eugene Pallette, who talk like this.
Yeah, that awful husband. So I begged not to play it, and that was the last picture I made for Warner's.
Did you fall in love with any of your leading men?
I was more apt to fall in love with directors. I think it had a lot to do with I liked a male who kind of took charge of me and told me what to do, and it's very hard for me to find that.
Yeah.
Yeah, who would think I needed that, but I did.
Strong, you wanted a domineering, strong personality.
Yeah, I did.
We're going to cut away, but we're coming back. Stay where you are. We're back talking with Miss Bette Davis. Okay. Another picture here. Another picture. It says, with your mother at a movie premiere in 1931. A strong influence in your life? Your mother?
Mother was why I'm sitting here. Not from the stage mother standpoint, but from the earning enough money that I could study in a dramatic school and doing all those years for me at great sacrifice. But that is our first premiere, dressed rather oddly, you would say.
Oh, I didn't notice.
And in my book, it's an old kind of thing, and Mother's kind of odd. And we hadn't learned to look like Hollywood yet. We were very Yankee still. And I have a strip of pictures in my book, The Lonely Life. That's the first one. Then there's the second one. The third one is at the premiere of All About Eve. And I have written, and by now we really look rather sharp. And under it I have written Pilgrim's Progress.
Okay, here's another picture. Yeah. Dark Victory, 1939, and the gentleman, of course, is Ronald Reagan.
Yes.
What's your memory about this?
Well, I can't quite get over still referring to him. I was delighted to hear that you've not been invited to the White House. Neither have I.
Well, actually, I have been invited.
You have been invited by the Reagans?
Invited, yes.
Well, I have not.
Ooh.
Well, that's good. He's sort of, yes. But we always referred to him as Little Ronnie Reagan. He did give one good performance, King's Row.
King's Row?
We will hand that.
I think that was
But, you know, take a man's leg off, it's a lot going for you in those scenes.
That's true.
Yeah, a lot going for you in those scenes.
A lot of sympathy.
But I have to say, I think he is infinitely better than I ever thought he would be. Infinitely. I think he shows quite a lot of guts upon occasion. Mm-hmm. He has had some rather serious things to decide.
Yes, he has.
Yes.
Well, good.
But I just hope he doesn't encourage a lot of other actors. I think we shouldn't take over that field at
all. You're having a lot of fun tonight, aren't you?
Yeah. Yes, I am. I'm very surprised. Nothing to do with appearing with John Carson.
Oh,
I'm surprised that I am. I haven't done a great deal of this lately.
I know you haven't.
I'm taking to it like a duck takes the water again.
Delighted you're
Wonderful, wonderful.
Did you ever get the old question?
And I may be back. You may have to have me again.
Okay, that's all right with me.
Yes. I may be back with a book.
Yeah.
You're going to have to take me on.
You writing another book? Mm-hmm. You got another book in you? Are you writing another book?
For years we've been doing this book.
Yeah.
So I may be back. The publisher wants me to. He feels you're of great value to the sales. I quite agree.
Oh, well, then you can come here.
Well, you have helped a lot of books in your life.
Well, you can come here anytime.
And other things.
Those...
What other products do you think you've helped besides books?
Wives. No.
Oh, yes. Well, of course, you and I must never get on that subject.
No, we shouldn't.
Since I paid alimony for 3 years to Bettie's father.
Did you really?
Yes, it's kind of a reverse twist, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, that's how desperately I wanted to get rid of him. to say that he was enjoying our way of life, was he did not want to give that
Yeah.
up. No. Poor
Well, it was
man.
very
Yeah,
generous
poor
of you.
man. Mm-hmm.
Would you change anything in your life if you had to do it all over again?
To be very serious,
Well, if you want to be.
um,
Yeah.
I only wish I had been brought up on the present morale system.
Really?
That it was accepted that maybe you lived with somebody before you married them.
That's
my
right.
upbringing was that's why you married and you waited until then. And on a Dick Cavett show, which is a rather famous show with some people, he asked when I gave up my virginity. It was a rather shock to me sitting there.
Yes.
I counted 10, and then I thought, come on. I said, when I married my first husband. And then I waited a minute, and I said, it was hell waiting.
Yeah. But nowadays, people...
Right. And I think it's very possible I might not have married some of the people I married. I think I would have married Gary.
Yeah.
I think I definitely would have married Gary. We had a great deal in common.
You're talking about Gary...
Merrill, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I definitely would have.
Yeah.
Yes, I was very much in love with Gary.
Okay.
And I flatter myself he rather liked me, too.
Oh, that's Did you ever go out to a party some night and get real silly and have too much to drink and do something really dumb?
No, I would be. There's too much of that strict Yankee upbringing
Wouldn't allow you
to do that. It wouldn't allow me to do that.
Yeah.
No, couldn't do that. Anyway, wouldn't like to be drunk and be. You're out of control.
Yeah.
Yeah, completely.
Do you always want to be in control?
Well, there have been about 2 times in my life that I have had too much to drink. I knew that. And wasn't next day quite sure what I did.
Mm-hmm.
And I never dared to ask.
Yeah.
I never dared to ask.
Better that way sometimes.
Yes, better that way. It's awful for people to tell you how you behave.
Yeah, when you found out you've swung the neighbor's cat through the plate glass window, you know, something like that, it could ruin your whole day.
Terrible like that.
We're going to cut away for a second. We're coming back.